All right, everybody, welcome to Bragg Memorial Stadium, Ken Riley Field. This is the first of a soup. We call it a soup. I decided that I needed my brothers in here who are experts on FAMU, so who better than to help you with the orange and green game than the O&G StrikeZone. I'd like to introduce to my far left, Bryan Fulford, and in the middle from the high, Kelvin Rosier. Kelvin, how y'all doing today, man?
Doing great, man. Doing wonderful. Beautiful event.
Beautiful.
Great game.
Yeah, great game. Man.
You know, just a beautiful day, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think softball and baseball both won, so, yeah. Good day to be a Rattler.
Great day to be a Rattler. Great day to be a Rattler, man. I'm really excited. Great job by everybody here, FAMU Athletics, FAMU, the university as a whole. You know, it's always one of those great days when God gives us great weather. You know,
Well,
that means the Rattlers are going to do great things.
Absolutely, man. And I have to start with congratulating A.D. Suggs on a festive orange and green spring game atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, it really gave me chills to see all those children down on the field stepping with Cupid after the game. That's the community that FAMU has always been.
Yes.
Sometimes we lose that, but really today really brought it back. And if you all can see that on social media, everybody was going live.
Had to pull Kelvin out of that. He was in there stepping with the
The
kids.
show could have started a while ago, but me and Kelvin got caught up.
And I have to say, it was a very nice crowd, too, you know.
Yes.
Off the top of my head, I would guess it was close to 4,000 at least.
Yeah.
Good. Good numbers. Good numbers. Yep.
Yeah. So, guys, what are your thoughts, initial thoughts, overall thoughts on the showcase? Start with you, Bryan.
Defense is back. The defense is back. The dark cloud defense is back. You know, it was it was partly cloudy last season, but this year they gonna rain. It's gonna rain on folks this year. I was really impressed from the first play.
Right.
The defense showed that, hey, we're coming after people, and I loved it all day. They were harassing the offensive team, and you know, I sometimes wonder because I hear it sounds cliche when I hear people say the defense is ahead of the offense, but it's true, I guess. And it really looked good today. I mean, and we saw the cast of characters that we expected to show up in big ways, and very pleased. So I understand why Coach Cozy is calling the defense this year. I understand it now. I would want to have my hands on that steering spoon as well this year.
Kelvin?
So what stood out to me, I think the DBs had 3 interceptions today.
Yeah.
And
3 safeties.
the windows were...
B-Dot.
What's up, B-Dot? What's happening, bro?
Hey, great job today.
I'm going to give up my seat. We got to get B-Dot.
Yeah.
B-Dot, what's up, man? This is my introduction to the family.
Exactly. B-Dot in the house.
Now, how I been doing, guys?
Hey,
going on?
good to actually see you, man.
What's up,
Great
guys?
job today.
Thank you, man.
Man, great job, man.
Thank you, man.
You were out there owning the crowd. You, man, talk a little bit about the experience, your first spring game, right?
It was awesome, man. Like, I like the way Coach Cozy set it up where it wasn't just a bunch of back and forth offense versus defense. I think what the fans need to understand is, like, situational football is very important. And the more you can have those reps of you own the ball on the 40 and you got a minute 43 and you're trying to do get your kicking unit on real fast and stuff like that. Like, I think that's important for the fans to see that how coach is coaching those guys in those situations. But it wasn't just a spring game for the players and situational football for the players. It was situational for the fans too.
I love the way you did that.
Yeah, like we need to know how to operate when touchdowns are scored and to add to the band and to add to the cheerleaders so that we can be the most intimidating field in the SWAC at the very least. But in the country is the goal. You dig what I'm saying?
We will be. You how much of that you just the fact that you were really engaged with what's going on in the play. Did you get a chance to spend some time talking to coach or the coaches and finding out, okay, this is the script, this is how we're going to do this? I mean, did you get a lot of time to do that beforehand?
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but
Don't
absolutely not. No, but man, as professionals, sometimes you got to be able to wing it and just go.
You definitely professional. You had me fooled because I'm like, man, B-Dot must have been there in the coach's room.
No, right? Listen, man, I'm like that boy Non Jenkins. I'm always locked in and ready. You dig what I'm saying? Nah, man, I talked to coach a little bit before the game, and of course I had a script, and it was like 1v1s, 2v2s, and the situations. So I just put my expertise with that and just made it fun for the fans.
Let me ask this question: have you ever coached or played any football?
Well, I made every team that I tried out for, but I wouldn't say I played much. Yeah. Coaches would put me on the team because I was a hard worker. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
You're a good GPA student.
Yeah. I'm a good team sport. You dig? I'm a great cheerleader.
Not gonna get in trouble in school.
No.
You mean to tell me you ain't got no MVP trophies or nothing?
Not at one. Like, honestly, man, but I really feel like that gave me the skill set that I have to do this. Like, because I did try out for football and I did play all my 4 years in high school. Again, I wasn't super athletic and super talented, but I understand the discipline that it takes and I understand the hard work that it takes that these guys go through. But not just that, like, when at Winston-Salem State, my very first time getting on the microphone was for the band.
Yes.
So I recognize what the band does, and I respect what the band does, what the cheerleaders do. Like, to put everything together, like, it takes a lot for it to be a successful game day environment and a successful team. And so it's just my job to try to explain that as much to the fans as possible. Again, like, I would have, sitting on the bench in high school, I hated it.
Right.
Like, I absolutely hated it. I wanted to be I wanted to walk around with my Letterman jacket. But now that I'm very successful in my career, it's like The Alchemist. I just got through reading the book The Alchemist, and it's like everything you go through is to set you up for where you're gonna be.
Beautiful. All right, what's the rest of the summer look like for you? I mean, you're a busy man. You're flying all over the country. You're here. You're there. What's the rest of the summer like for you?
I'm working, man. I got my podcast is still super successful. I didn't know, maybe you didn't either. It's the Black History Podcast. I do a new episode every day in February, but we've actually expanded it, so I do weekly episodes. And just anything that I didn't know, maybe you didn't either. Like, did y'all know that Peter Pan was a racist cartoon?
No.
When was the last time y'all watched Peter Pan? I'm serious. I know this ain't got nothing to do with the O&G StrikeZone, but Peter Pan. Now listen, think about it. Hear me out. Peter Pan, first of all, they had a whole Native American group.
The Lost Boys.
That was named the Pickaninny tribe.
Oh, wow.
Pickaninny is a super racist word.
Okay.
Yeah, like they got a song that's called "What Made the Red Man Red."
Wow.
And he says, how? And it's crazy. So, like, different stuff like that. Things that I didn't know. Maybe you didn't either. Please check out the podcast.
Shout out the name and when that podcast drops, man. Because you just put us on to something right there.
You can find it anywhere, man. Just put in IDKMYDE. I didn't know. Maybe you didn't either. Again, IDKMYDE, wherever you get your podcast. And I'm very excited about that platform. But that and just staying working, man. I got comedy shows. I'll be out at the BET Awards doing some work. Essence Fest doing some work.
Okay.
Just working.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you, B-Dot. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate y'all for real. I love what y'all do, guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. We'll see you coming in the
fall.
fall.
Telling me to get out of here, so I'm going to get
out.
That's
all right. More VIPs coming through.
That's how we do.
Yeah.
Hey, you talked about softball.
We did.
And Miss
First
Softball
place. First place softball team.
Right.
Coach B, what up, Coach?
We don't know what's going to happen on this show because we don't know. We just, whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens.
Coach, welcome
Hey.
back to the O&G and HBCU Gameday. Wow, first place, still in first place. You guys are doing the thing. A little exciting game today.
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
probably more exciting than you had wanted, but 2-2 going into the seventh, game one of the two doubleheaders. They put what, four on us?
We were behind by 4 runs.
Right, put a 4 on us in the top of the seventh. And then, Rattler Magic does what it do. I mean, I was following along what we did in Jackson. So, I mean,
Yes.
break down what happened today.
Man, Alabama A&M, they played a great game. They were solid from the beginning to the end, and I felt like we just scratch runs every possible way that we possibly can. Amari came up big in the bottom of the seventh to get to hit a home run, and it was pretty good. So
balling.
we were happy.
We were balling.
You gotta get him out of the way. That's the
you
camera.
You might have to come on in front of it. You want to be on the camera. You got to come back here. You come back here. You come on. Come on back here.
So, Coach, you're now pretty much at the halfway point of the season, a little farther along. What's your overall impression of how your team has performed up to this point?
We're clawing, like I said, just being gritty, just making sure that we don't try to do too much. At this point, you know, finals coming up, just fatigue, just making sure that we get our routine reps and just play quality ball. You know, the teams that we face, we have Alabama State coming up, and then we also have Bethune. So just making sure that we play our ball and keeping everything clean, I think we'll be fine.
Look, I know you kind of just jumped in, and so I mean it's been a long day with the doubleheader. And you said traveling to Alabama State next weekend, correct?
No, we're home against Bethune.
Home. Okay, so that's right. Yeah. 2 series in a row. Okay, good. So again, right back up here next weekend. Rattlers got to come up, and we got to stay in first place.
Friday at 6, and then Saturday at 1 and 3, and then we'll be on the road the following week. So we need the Rattlers to come out.
Exactly.
We owe Bethune.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Little payback.
Hey, Coach, I got to ask you. The home run derby was real close the other day.
No, it was not.
The Rattler football team went over to softball to play a home run derby.
Y'all would have never heard the end of that.
It was
never heard the end
closer
of it.
than I expected. Let me
Yes,
say that.
it was close.
Until Sam came up and she just stopped.
I mean, was
the tin roof on the batting cage, she was killing it.
Ballers.
But it was good. It was real fun to see the football team come out. And I thought the boys were just not gonna, show up, but they went in the batting cage.
Yes.
They warmed up.
Yes.
They did everything that they could possibly do. So I think that was really good.
All right, this is the O&G StrikeZone and HBCU Gameday, so we're going to show y'all a little bit of that. All right, and that was a little bit of the home run derby between the football team and the softball team. And Coach doesn't want to say it, but it was a little closer than I thought it was going to be. I've seen how softball team hit, and I didn't think it was going to be close, but the football players, they stepped up to the plate, and we have one of the stars of the team. He was the star of the defense last year, number 45, Non Jenkins. Non, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely. So, how did it feel to get out there in the spring game and get back in that game environment with your home fans and the band and all that's going on? How did that feel for you today?
I think that the momentum was definitely there. It was great to be back. I just kept telling the boy, I'm like, hey, we back in Bragg. It feel good. We practice in Bragg, but it ain't on a Saturday afternoon. And so I think that was just great to be back in the atmosphere. The band was here. And I think for those new guys, they don't even know it, but that's just a taste. That was, we only had one side, so, but when Brad get the bumping, they get the bumping. And so I think that was great to be back, and I think it was a great preview of what the 2025 season is going to be. And I just can't wait to see what's to come for this team.
Nayron, the defense looked good today. I said earlier, I said last year, it was a little partly cloudy with the dark cloud, and partly it was days, but out there right from the jump, the defense went after it. 3 safeties right in the open. I mean, off the first play, got a safety. And then talk a little bit about what we saw, what you guys have been doing in practice, but just talk a little bit about how excited you are about what this defense can do this season.
I think so. This year we mainly focused on don't let them get anything.
Okay.
Like, we okay, last year was making excuses with, special teams this, special teams that. And I think what we've been trying to preach is we don't care if they give them the ball on the 1 yard line. We got 4 plays and we better not let them get in there. And so I think that's been the biggest thing is, don't let them score. Like, I don't care. We are held responsible for us. We all a team, but defensively, our job is to not let them score. Okay. We get some stops that'll give offense momentum. We'll be able to put more points on the board. And so we weren't satisfied with that second half. First half, we played lights out, played great. I think second half, we took our foot off the gas a little bit. So I think we're going to get back to the drawing board and make sure that we keep our foot on the gas and make sure that we finish game. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's not how you start, but it's how you finish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Follow-up, what was it like this a year where Coach Cozy's the voice on that side? There's a lot of new voices on that side of the ball, but in particular, Coach Cozy. What's that like, having his voice now on the defensive side, deciding what's going to happen and what it looks like this year?
I think it's great. I think Coach Cozy has been in this defense for a while now. I think 3 years. He actually got the same time as I did, so I think that he knows it's like the back of his hand, and so I think that's great for him to know what to call in certain situations. We trust him, and also adding Coach Wick, Coach Kenwick Thompson in the booth. Even though he's up in the skybox, he's also throwing in things. We putting on the headsets, talking to him to make sure that we're all on the same page. So I think with those two minds together, it's definitely going to be a great season.
Nice.
Well, also, Nayron, we're going to let you go. You are a college student. I know it's a party somewhere with your name on it, but thank you so much. And thank you for being a great young man. I told your dad today, I said, I judge you by how Nayron is. And you must be a good man because you're always respectful and all of that. So I love to see kids like you do well. So I'll be pulling for you this year along with the Rattler squad. And on behalf of HBCU Gameday at O&G StrikeZone, we're looking for big things out of you this year.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Go Rattlers.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
All right, and we playing musical chairs, so I'm about to get the quarterback in the center chair and get Kelvin here. In the musical chairs of the HBCU Gameday O&G StrikeZone. They didn't know they were getting musical chairs.
Hey, look, we SWAC. That's what we do in the SWAC. We play musical chairs in the SWAC. So, that's what it is. That's what we do. Yeah, we doing it live. Hey, Hollow, I appreciate it. Hollow is asking about the point system. So here's what I can tell you about the point system, Hollow. I don't know it all, and I know there were 2 points being awarded. I don't know, Vaughn, if you've got the sheet.
1 point for stops.
Here we go.
2 points for safeties. TDs were their regular points. That's all I got.
Yeah, the point, but I think the first half score was 15, 16?
19, 15.
19, 15,
yep,
offense had.
Yep.
Yeah, and so offense ended up running away with it, but that was because more so
situational
they
in
scored.
the second part.
All right. So let's go ahead and introduce our next guest to Rattler Nation. Number 3,
yes,
Tyler Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
Tyler, man, welcome to the O&G. Welcome to FAMU, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Before we even get into talking about this game, talk a little bit about this experience and this first semester here at FAMU. What's that been like for you?
Hey, man, it's definitely been an experience. This has been a great experience, though. A lot of people, on the outside, you hear like FAMU, very family-oriented, very bringing, very together program, man. And you see that throughout the school as well. Just from all the way from day one to now, it's just been nothing but togetherness all throughout. Like, I know one day I didn't know where the classroom was. Oh, you don't know what class at? 3 girls, a dude, you know what I'm saying? They helping me out, walking me through campus, showing me where everything at.
Nice.
So it's just like things like that, and especially like going into football, the team, that's exactly what it is. It's a team.
Good.
And they've been together, I would say, for a while now. And them bringing me in the way they did, I don't think I've ever had that in any team that I've ever been on.
Wow, that says a lot. That's good. That's good to hear. Good to hear. So this practice season, what has it been? This opportunity, we saw a little bit. You running with the ones primarily. We saw a lot of great things today. But just talk a little bit about the practice before we get into talking about the game. I'm sure Kelvin will get into that. But maybe just the practice. What have the practices been like for you in terms of understanding the system, understanding what Coach Burris and Coach Cozy want to see happen? What's that been like this spring?
So the word we use especially for me, is the process.
Okay.
It's all about the process. So from day one to now, it's just been about the process, getting better each and every day. That 1% each and every day. And that's definitely been the thing that we focus on, not even for me, but for our roommates as a whole. You know, everybody has to get better. And so, especially like a lot of people talk about the competition. I don't think we compete in our room. As far as we're so together, we help each other out.
Okay.
So coming in, learning the system, that was easy just because of the guys I had around me.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay,
Kelvin.
what has it been like on the field in terms of adjusting to a new program, new coach, new calls, new teammates, and everything? Even though I know you knew some of the guys because from high school, and so
Yes,
just
sir.
kind of talk about the transition.
The transition, like I said, man, everything's been smooth. Everything's been real smooth. Like the guys that's here, it's not even the offense as a whole; it's the defense as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? On the field and off the field. You know what I'm saying? Just that extra motivation. The boys, yeah, you got this. You already know next play. And you know, across the line, man, iron sharpens iron. Y'all saw that today. Our defense is like that.
Mm-hmm.
They like that. So practice against them every single day, it makes us a lot better. Along with my offensive line I got in front of me, the running back standing next to me, and the wide receivers that I had to throw to, man, makes my job a whole lot easier.
All right, one last question. You talk about getting better. What are some things you're looking forward to improving as you get ready to gear up for the fall?
Gear for the fall, I think situational stuff is the biggest thing right now. Definitely understanding the situations, knowing the down and distance on each and every play, and being under control and controlling the time clock. That's definitely the thing. That's what drives the offense.
Good stuff. What's the summer plans for you? You obviously you're gonna be on campus this
Yes,
summer.
sir.
Or-
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, the process doesn't stop.
Okay.
So it's getting in with the guys, weekends, weekdays, you know what I'm saying, getting that extra work in, still gelling together because we got a big season coming ahead.
And a lot of people may not know. Give a little background. Where are you from?
Yes, sir.
You know, obviously some people may know how you got here, but just let people know where you're from and just, you know, because for a lot of folks it's your first time meeting you. So.
Yes, sir. So I'm originally from High Springs, Florida,
Okay.
which is a small town right outside of Gainesville, Florida.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So I actually graduated from Hawthorne High School.
Okay.
And then out of high school, I went to Central Michigan.
Okay.
And I've been there for about the past year and a half now. And then I wound up transferring here. Great situation for me, along with Coach Cozy and Coach Burrs. They definitely were the main priorities that brought me here, especially with the system that we run in the West Coast offensive system. And I think that's what brought me here, along with the guys, you know what I'm saying, like Nayron. Yeah, like he said earlier, I've been playing with him since we were in Little League.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We grew up together. And you know what I'm saying, just the relationships with those people right there definitely brought me here.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's cold up in Michigan.
Yep, super cool.
welcome back to the heat of Florida.
Absolutely.
All right. Wait, definitely, man. Hopefully we can get a chance to get you on the show, on our show, and we can talk longer and a little deeper.
Yes,
but man, thank you for taking some time to come and chat with us. And great job today. We
Good
look forward
work,
to
man.
seeing you more, man.
Yeah.
Definitely great work today.
Absolutely. Thank you
Ladies
for
and
having
gentlemen, Tyler Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
All right. Coming up, back again, VAUGHN Wilson. I think we got Coach Cozy coming up. I know
Yeah,
a
we
lot
got
of
Coach
a lot of
Cozy
you were
coming
saying, I don't know, the volume should be good. Maybe,
Right.
you know, Tyler, you know, he was a little, you know, volume might have
We'll
been
put
low.
Cozy in the hot seat.
Put him in the hot seat. All right.
Coach, we got a hot seat for you right over here.
Don't let me get away.
No, sir.
Hey,
No,
Coach.
sir.
Man, good to see y'all. What's up, man?
Good to see you, Coach. Good to see you again.
Absolutely.
Good to see you again.
All right.
Oh, man.
We pulled
You
all
want-
our
you want
resources.
Yo,
So
okay.
Coach Cozy is now on 2 networks at one time, HBCU Gameday and O&G StrikeZone. This is our combined production of the showcase, the Orange and Green game, the Cupid Shuffle show. It was a lot going on today. Coach, how you feeling?
Feel good. Feel good. You know, we came up with our scoring system over the last couple days, and then come to find out, you know, our offense put up 50 points. So, I don't know, maybe we need to revamp that thing. But I wanted what we wanted to do was have a bunch of situations. You know, as you could tell, when we were early in the scrimmage, we put when the defense had an advantage, you know, the defense did just that. When the offense had the advantage, they did just that as well. So, but I'm excited, happy with what we did. You know, we came out fairly healthy. Guys made some plays. I think some new stars may have emerged, but you know, overall, good. You know, good crowd. You know, guys did a good job, and you know, I thought for the most part, overall, I thought we played pretty well.
Coach, just like every team in the nation since the transfer portal and NIL started. It's
Vaughn mentioned NIL, and then it all went left.
okay. Yeah, I think we got it.
Oh, there it is, back. All right, yeah, okay, everybody. Okay, appreciate y'all. Hey, that's why we love the chats. You know, the chats. Appreciate everybody in the chat telling us, man, because
this on the fly, this live, we're out here.
the chat was going crazy. Like, we didn't hear nothing Coach said. What did Coach say? Coach said NIL and everything went mute.
Back. Yeah, so Coach blamed it on me. He said when I said NIL, everything just went crap.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, Coach, just talk about my question, and I think this is where we want to pick off. Over the last several years, it's really difficult to judge, maintain, and understand what you're going to have as a team because of the ease of the transfer portal, because of the lure of NIL. You don't start from scratch, but boy, it's pretty close to starting from scratch every year.
Well, I mean, I would think for us, just using this past year as an example, we were able to keep our core guys with us, right? So, whether it was NIL, whether it was the tradition, or the opportunity to go for a championship, we didn't necessarily lose that many people in the portal, but we were able to add a good 10 to 15 guys from the portal. So, I think it's important for us to just we have to make sure. I know the portal does open up next week, but I think it's important for us to take care of the 93 to 95 guys that are on our roster right now. I think we got to make sure we make the correct decisions in our evaluations. So we'll have one more practice on Monday, and then we'll use all of next week to have our exit meetings, talk to our guys, and just see where everything needs to be. Because we will make some additions to our team. We just don't necessarily know at what position just yet. But I think it's important to take care of our internal guys before we can talk about anybody external.
Coach, we talked about it from the first snap. The defense just really looked like the defense is back. It looked like what we're used to seeing from a FAMU defense, which can be dominating, which can actually drag your offense along, for lack of a better word. A team that well, it's that old Baltimore Ravens concept, the old Pittsburgh Steelers concept. And the defense really does look like you have some great personnel in great positions that can do some pretty big things.
Well, we thought it was important just to set the tone. I mean, not just scrimmage-wise, but we've been putting on a lot of pressure throughout this entire spring. Coach Wick, our new defensive coordinator, we talked about wanting to pressure the quarterback. Well, we were able to do that with some pressure, right? But then we were also able to do it with just our forward, which is, when I think back to the 22 and 23 seasons when we were really getting after guys, it wasn't because of pressure. It was just our defensive line just putting the pressure on the quarterback. So, hats off to our two D-line coaches, Coach St. John and Coach Walker. They really, really stepped up to the challenge. But, just from the get-go, we wanted to set the tone. We did have some pressure early on in the game, and just we wanted to kind of put the offense at a little bit of a disadvantage. Now, our offense is a little bit mad at me because at the beginning of the scrimmage, I put them at the -7 yard line, to start the scrimmage. But, I think, we worked coming out, right? We tried to work a lot of different situations throughout the game, because at the end of the day, when you get to a game that, we got to make sure we take care of those situations. It's just not about lining up and just playing. So, we worked out we call it coming out. Defense did a good job, and then we put the ball at the -20, -25. Still, the defense did a good job, but then all it took was the offense to get a big run by Big Thad Franklin, and it kind of turned them a little bit loose. So, I think put him at a little bit of a disadvantage in the beginning, and then obviously we put him at the plus 25 at the end, and we got a lot of points going there. So, put him at a disadvantage, put him at an advantage. We did that to both sides of the field, and I'm happy with what we did. I'm happy with how we did it. I'm extremely excited about Coach Burris and what he's going to do for us offensively, and obviously Coach Wick for what he's going to do for us defensively.
All right, Coach Bryan.
Coach,
we're not going to let Coach off the hot seat yet.
No.
We're going to pause because we have some highlights from the game. So we'll watch the highlights, and then we'll come back with Coach.
I sleep with the gun.
Put it down. We got 6 points up there for 2-3 safeties. Didn't let the offense budge out here. Now we go back to the 25-yard line. Pass is broken up. Number. And the draw, a great play. Robert Lockhart. And the QB. Pass is complete. And that would have been a sack by number. And that's batted down, Molly. That defense ain't no. No. It is running back number 20, Bo Somerset. Touchdown! Clippers! 6-yard completion to number 33, Andrew. Can the offense score again? First and 10 here. Going it, right? Yeah, bro. Stood up strong in the pocket. Pass is complete. Oh, make the man miss. He's made up. Number 20.
back. So you saw a few of the highlights from today's Orange and Green game. Bryan, Kelvin here with Coach James Colsey III. Coach, look, I was a surprise to learn Thursday that you're calling the plays on the defense. Not that I'm surprised. I am surprised, but not, but what went into that?
Well, I've been a coordinator for, I think, 13 years of my career. And, obviously last year just trying to be the head coach, and stepping back and, just coaching the defensive backs. But, I've been a coordinator half of my career. And I became a head coach at my previous institution because of me being a defensive coordinator and winning a national championship. So, I thought it was, again, when you hire a guy like Coach Wigg, Coach Thompson, he's a guy that's been a coordinator before. It does leave me a little bit of opportunity to put some things on him, and then him and I can just sit back and come up with the game plan. But the thing I like about Coach Wigg, with a lot of the stops that he's had, he's gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of different things that I wanted to be able to do, during this time frame. And I think, even as great of a job we've done over we did over the 22, 23, and even some of the 24 season, I thought we became a little bit vanilla. So Coach Wigg brings in some different packages, some different things that I wanted to be able to do. And believe me, during our interview process, a lot of the things that we're doing now, we talked about, and hopefully being able to do. And he's good with it. He's up top. Trust me, I asked him for a lot of recommendations. We've been doing that the entire spring, and so trust me, it's not just me. It's the entire defensive staff.
Does that give you, when you take on that much more, instead of being the coach that's sort of the CEO over both sides, and you put more into the defense, does that mean that you have more confidence? I don't know if I'm going to use that word, confidence, comfortability with what Coach Burris and the offensive coaches have planned? Is that, or is it just? To
be honest with you, I've spent more time on both sides, right?
Okay.
Last year, I was kind of just being a head coach and just trying to make sure I showed up on time for the 220 club, making sure I showed up on time to be at all the other different events that I needed to do as a head coach, where I needed to be able to manage my time, but also during the spring, being around the coaches that we have now, spending time with the offense is extremely important. Spending time with our defense, because again, I do spend a lot of time with them, was really important. Sitting down and talking to my special teams coordinator is really important, because I don't want it to be any situation where they don't know what I want.
Gotcha.
Right? And so it's more of this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want from this side of the football, and now it's important for all three of us to make sure we execute that.
True. Go ahead, Kay.
Coach, what did you want to accomplish from this spring game and this spring with a team that's kind of seasoned, but you did add some 15, 20 pieces, and was that accomplished?
Well, I think we wanted to just, for one, be healthy, right? I thought we did a good job with maintaining our health over the spring. We will do one more practice on Monday, which will primarily be special teams. But, guys, I know a lot of people couldn't see what the sidelines looked like, but we had a lot of starters that did not play today,
okay,
right? And I wanted to be able, we had some guys, they were out for the year, so they couldn't necessarily be cleared for spring, but gave us a chance to develop our depth. You look at a number 14, Dalen Diston, who was out there today. He's a new guy that we brought in from East Carolina. He's got 3 years left, and he's a guy that can either be a starting corner for us, or he can be a guy that could be, that could provide us depth on the back end. Well, then you look at it, Brandon Callaway, who played for us last year, T.J. Huggins, those are two corners that played for us last year that did not participate in the spring. And that's just an example, but us having an opportunity to develop depth, but also seeing some of these guys that we did bring in, we got a chance to see them in live action. We got a chance to see them going against some of the receivers that we have that are returning. So, again, it allows us to build some depth. It allowed us to truly, truly evaluate some of the guys that we brought in, because last year we didn't bring anybody in because we couldn't. And then we get to the summer, we had some guys that we maybe knew about and maybe didn't we know about. And, maybe at some of the wrong time, we were able to see that they couldn't do it for us. Well, so this spring, man, we had a chance to lift 40 times. We had a chance to do 6 fourth quarter drills. We had a chance to do 7 OTAs. We had a chance to do 13, which were going to be 14 practices, man. We put them into a pretty intense spring. And I wanted to see who would fold. And I would say about 90-95% of those guys, out of the 95 guys that we have on roster, did a very, very good job for us. So we were truly, truly able to evaluate the guys that we brought in. And that's important. We'll do one more practice, and then we'll do a week of exit meetings and take care of those guys, and then find out where we need to go in regards to the portal.
Nice. Situational football.
Yep.
also means that sometimes the situations where you saw some penalties at some bad times.
Yep.
Talk about what you saw, things that kind of bothered you about the situations of some of those penalties.
We get an interception, right? And then we get a 15-yard penalty. Obviously those are things that you can't happen. Young guy comes in and makes a great play, excited, and then you throw the ball in the air. I don't know where in practice we work on that, but so he somehow found a way to perfect it. Then we had 2 personal fouls. One of the I will say this: the personal foul that they had on Aaron, they didn't blow the whistle. And if you know Non Jenkins, he's gonna play until the whistle blows.
Yes,
so I'll take that one that we had on Aaron, and then we had another one that we hit a guy out of bounds. So 2 of the 3 just undisciplined penalties. Things that definitely hurt us today, but also hurt us throughout the year, last year, and just something that we could as a staff have to continue to harp on.
All right, Coach. I want you to kind of get into what the spring and fall is going to look like. Well, the rest of the summer and then fall. I know you got camps, and then you got players that have come in that you recruited already, and then we got a very good schedule. So just kind of talk about what your schedule going to look like for the next few months.
Well, we'll finish up the spring. Hopefully our guys do what they need to do academically. Then we'll give them a week off, right? Give them they'll get 2 weeks off where get a chance to go home, and then that next week they'll take that week to get ready for summer school. But then once May 16th hits, we're back, right? We'll have 85 to 90 guys here going through the summer, getting ready. From that time on all the way up until training camp, we'll be getting ready to play Howard, right? Obviously, then after that, once that summer's done, training camp starts. It starts 30 days before we play. So it seems like a long time, but as we know, it's gonna come quick. It's gonna go by quick. So. Me on the other end, obviously gonna make sure I can travel around and see as many of the alumni throughout the country. As you guys know, I go to Vegas, I'll go to Houston, I'll go to Dallas, I'll go to Chicago, I'll be in Atlanta twice, I'll probably be in Detroit once, and I was in LA and Vegas, so we'll get a chance to just travel around the country and talk to all the alumni that's excited about football starting. So I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to spend our summer with our guys because we know what kind of football team we can have, and obviously with the kind of football team we can have and the schedule that we can have. The schedule we have, we got to be ready to play every week. Not just on the road, but at home. So it's an exciting schedule for us as a football team. I know it's an exciting schedule for our alumni and all the fans that'll be here. Mm-hmm. But we got to make sure we're ready to play because as we saw last year, no matter who we play, they're going to be ready to play us. So we have to take it to them as opposed to them taking it to us.
What did you think about special teams today? And I don't know, you didn't run a full package of special teams things like kickoff or punt returns, but from the little bit of special teams that we had, which is mainly field goal situational things, what's your take on what you saw? What we had?
We did special teams at 3:00, right? We we did like about first 7-8 periods. We worked our punt, we worked our kickoff. We're doing some new things. I didn't want a lot of people to see them, and then at the end of the day, they wanted the game to start at 4:00, gotcha. So I wanted to make sure we did that. But we had an hour's worth of like I said, punt and kickoff, and Alexander Davis, the punt that we brought in, he led the conference in punting. I mean, he's got a great foot. I think he hit one today about 55, 60 yards, in the air, and hopefully we don't have to punt very often. But if we do, man, he's got a very, very good leg. We did work our field goals, as you guys did get a chance to see. I think we were either 8 of 10 or 9 of 10. I didn't get the actual numbers, but I thought we did a good job, especially in the situations that we put them in. They kicked their field goals. I still think we need a kickoff guy. So that's probably going to be something that I think that we'll be looking for. We all know that the last 22, 23, the kind of kickoff guy we had that was putting everybody, pushing everybody back with all the touchbacks, that we had, but then last year we weren't able to do that, and at times we were putting our defense in a really, really tough advantage as far as starting field position. So, I think we still need to make sure we get one of those. But overall, I thought we did a good job. Our long snapper's back. He's been a 2-year starter, so for the most part, I thought Martinez always has he does a great job. But again, we'll get a chance to just see what we need to do, what we're looking for. We'll have a special teams practice on Monday. That'll be our last practice that we'll have, and again, get a chance to evaluate them. But I thought we did a good job, but for my 3 years that I've been here, our special team has always been the best, okay. So it's important to me to make sure we get back to that.
Nice. All right. Well, hey, again, Coach, thank you for your time. Great job. Hey, you, the staff, players, everybody a lot goes into this.
Right.
So it was well run, well organized. I love the setup. And on behalf of Rattler Nation, thank you for giving us this opportunity. Those who came in and saw it, and those of you that didn't, you rewind those highlights and see a little bit of it, and get your popcorn ready and be ready to be in South Florida on August 30th, the Orange Blossom Classic.
I appreciate you guys, and thanks for having me. I need to see some video of you guys doing the shuffle. I didn't think I'd see all.
Kelvin was out there. We had to pull Kelvin. There might be some video. I had to pull Kelvin out of the mix with the kids, Coach, because that's why we started so late. At least that's what I'm saying.
All these football highlights, I don't see no damn shuffle highlights. All right, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very, very much.
I appreciate you. Coach James Cozy, man. Again, great job, Orange and Green Spring game. Great job by the Rattlers. Great job by all of the people, not only from the football program, but the athletic department, the band, the cheerleaders, the facilities people, the equipment people, man. First class, great environment, great opportunity to come out and see. And good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, it was. What was very important was to hear our quarterback talking about the environment at FAMU.
Yes.
And that is what we can't lose. FAMU has to always remember that it has something special.
Yes.
And everybody who gets to experience that, it's a no-brainer that they decide to come to the institution. The FAMU league is real. And to hear him talk about it, who's only been here a short period of time, but his experiences are just amazing. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes before we come back and wrap it up. And if y'all got any questions, please put them in the various chats. We have all the social media open. That's why we aren't ignoring y'all. We're looking at our phones and iPads and everything else to try to see what you all are saying or what questions you have. But I'm going to put a little FAMU in it. I actually went to Set Friday.
Oh, really? Okay.
And it was amazing. So we're going to get a little highlight. We're going to give everybody a little bit. upset. Part of why we love FAMU is
no better place to be on Friday.
the environment.
I don't know what y'all got at y'all school, but he can't compare to that. He can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Come get your wife.
Right. But
or two.
But anyway, guys, a great day and a great weekend. Baseball, softball doing just phenomenal. You know, it's funny. Every year, Coach, shoot, how the team looking? Oh man.
Boy, did he undersell on the show? I don't know if you saw. Boy, he was.
He always sell us that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then they come out smoking. They're doing really well, and they're in first place in the SWAC, if I can remember.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Softball is doing extremely well.
First place in the division.
So the outlook for FAMU and FAMU athletics tapped off with this spring game. I saw a lot of talent today. I don't know about you all, but I saw a lot of talent on that field. And if these coaches can put it together, this could be a special team.
Yeah, we have quite a few returning starters. I think we and many of who did not play, as Coach indicated, but I think we had around 70 lettermen returning from the squad, and then we added those guys we recruited early on, and so this is a fairly experienced team, and with good depth. And I saw a lot. So some bullet points for me. I saw some speed, athleticism, specifically on the defensive side. I also saw that we have some playmakers, right? In space, right? It was interesting to see Alcorn working a lot from the backfield and not at split end. And so, and you know, the running backs, you can tell, we knew that was a strength. It looks like it's gonna be a strength. So I know they'll be adding some pieces, to add depth, in the trenches on the offensive side and some competition, but the defensive backfield also looks a lot faster and athletic on that side of the ball. So, you don't take away too much from a spring game because, you're really just trying to, see the guys play fast and know where they go because you're not scheming for anything specifically. And, like Coach said, you don't want to get hurt and you don't want to see dumb penalties or bad turnovers. So, we didn't see any of that, so I'm very excited, yeah.
I would say be very excited about the quarterback position this year, Rattlers. I think the quarterback position – look, the one thing I will say, the quarterback position will be very athletic. I was really impressed by the athleticism of not just Tyler Jefferson, but also Traven Green and Bryson Martin.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bryson, I didn't know he had those.
Me either.
No, I got a chance to talk to Dad, and he was sick a little bit, the last couple of weeks, but he still looked good. And then Roman Purcell, I think he has athleticism. So we got some athletic quarterbacks, which are going to allow for this team to be able to do some of the things that I think we maybe have not seen the past couple seasons. I mean, and different quarterbacks, different strokes, different folks. But I mean, I do like having that option.
That
when
dimension.
And you saw in one of those highlights when you saw three get out the pocket and put a teammate on skates. Woo! Look. Coming your way, folks. That's coming your way, and all of the guys showed some athleticism, so that was really exciting. And I'm gonna give a special shout out to. I thought I know, Coach, they did the spring awards, but if I had to say the one kid that showed to me and showed up that I wasn't coming in expecting. I'm looking for certain guys, obviously, but I came in and saw number 43, Andrew Ritter, tight end. And shout out to Andrew Ritter, number 43. He was everywhere. And Coach said he plays a tight end, but he is not in the frame of the previous tight end. We've had 6'5", 6'6" tight ends. Andrew's maybe 6'2".
Right.
But
he's a tough kid.
But yeah, you would look at him and think, maybe a fullback, but no, man, he's a tight end. He caught a pass. I saw him catch some other one.
Well, they use him kind of like an H-back. He does get in the backfield and lead blocks. He runs routes. So, yeah. Just a football player.
And he played on all three teams. I think he ran with first team, ran with second, third. So I think he's gonna do a good job.
Yeah, we need durable players. And he showed that.
And the running backs are nice. The running backs, we saw the main three. You know, of course, Franklin, then Somerset, and then Lockhart. So I think, you know, all of them, whenever you have that thunder and lightning combination that you can do with your running backs, and we just, you know, build depth. And so we'll see what the rest of the depth is behind them. But man, it'll be nice watching those three, at least those three, go to work. And we wait to see what the rest of them look like. But
we
excited, good stuff.
Yeah, we cooking, SWAC. We cooking.
Yeah, you're not gonna see us all up on the videos and on the Instagram reels talking about what we got and what we gonna do. Nah, not this year, not this team. We just gonna come for you. That's it. When we come to you, we gonna come to you, and you got to come to us. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, we looked at it, and you all looked at it earlier and talked about it. The schedule. In most people's mind, they say that's a good schedule, and in Coach Cozy's schedule, in his mind, it's a challenging schedule.
It is.
Yeah.
Fans and coaches have different concepts about schedules. We like to see us play good teams, and we've got Alcorn coming in here, Jackson State,
Central,
out
of conference.
Yeah, and
playing Howard, out of conference.
Yeah.
Trey Oliver always has a chip on his shoulder.
Oh yes.
Howard has a chip on their shoulder from the Celebration Bowl.
Well, we got two Central coaches on staff now.
Yeah,
so
right. We more juice for that one. Yeah.
So if FAMU doesn't realize that since the Jake Gaither era, they're going to be circled on the schedule. When these teams come, and let me tell you another one that's going to be coming here with this game circled, and that's going to be Albany.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think Quinn Gray doesn't see an opportunity? So the FAMU is going to have to put these pieces together. And this talent is going to have to be solid because that is, everybody says a good schedule, but we all know it's a challenging schedule.
It's a very challenging schedule.
And it's going to take primaries and it's going to take backups because football is a contact sport and guys go down every day.
Yep.
You know, sometimes
you gotta have depth.
Second plays, you're going to have to you're going to have to build depth. And we saw some good players, but it's football. We have to ask the question, who's behind them?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's football. Nobody plays 100% of snaps in football. You're going to get hurt, and you're going to go out for some period of time.
Except for Travis Hunter. The unicorn.
Except the unicorn.
He's playing 200. Yeah, he's on both sides. Yeah.
But, it was quite an interesting day today. A great day for FAMU as it reached out to the community the way that it did today. You can come on campus. Driving down campus early this morning, you can hear softball cranking up. You can see baseball cranking up. There was something going on the rec fields.
I think it was STEM Day.
It was going on in the Lawson Center. It was almost like the old days of the FAMU Sports Carnival. There was so much going on campus today. And then you cap it off with the Orange and Green Showcase. And Cupid, let me tell you, like I said, that was amazing. I didn't know how it was going to work.
The band was even a part of that thing.
Yeah, he worked it with the band. He went and got with the band so that he could do his flex with the band. This was just a great day. You know, every day is not great, but today was just an absolute great day.
It was. I'm not too familiar with his catalog outside of a couple songs, but I mean, he's got some good joints. I mean, it was good. I mean, the kids and everybody had a good time, and that's what you want. That's what you want to have. So
feel good about coming to your venue.
Yeah. Yep. Good stuff, man. Well, I'm excited about this fall. I really am. You know, and this cements it for me that, and I would encourage any and everybody to get your season tickets, get your plans ready to be in Miami and South Florida with us at the Orange Blossom Classic.
Support the Fang Exchange, support 220 Club.
Yep.
You know,
Rattler Boosters.
Yes.
I mean, we
have championship programs. In order to maintain them, it's going to require investment from us.
Yes.
We are the solution. So definitely support all your DSOs.
Absolutely. And Kelvin and Bryan, you know, I feel able to take the credit because you all are just what I thought you were and what I've seen you be, just engulfed in FAMU. When I told the team at HBCU Gameday, I said, hey, I don't want to do this one alone when I have access to two great guys that eat, sleep, and breathe FAMU. So I want to thank you all for us all just collaborating. We need to collaborate more.
Yes.
I agree. I agree.
And I'm not speaking of us because
Right.
we're always on the same
Right.
page.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I've been on
Yeah.
O&G StrikeZone at night and whatever, but sometimes I just think we have to realize when we're not in competition with somebody.
Correct.
And we can build something better. This show would not have been, I would not have had the commentary without you guys, so I want to say thank you.
Well, thank you for inviting us and letting us be a part of this. And you did the yeoman's work, man. You doing production.
Oh, yeah, that's why I keep
You got the
sliding off there.
equipment. You did the setup.
Warms my heart seeing somebody do it, somebody other than me do it. I love it.
So
I
kudos,
love it. I see
kudos to
everything.
Vaughn,
I'm
man.
trying-
You know,
I'm trying to.
we kind of just showed up to be truth be told.
I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at the setup like, man, I got to work. I got to up our game. You know, hey, Roy, we got to up our game. I'm looking at what Vaughn got set up, man. Look.
No, it was a great day. I can go home feeling really well. Just anybody who is associated with FAMU who was on this campus today, from the STEM event in the Lawson Center where that was packed out.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's
packed
always
out.
good having young folk on campus.
When I came to set up, the parking lot was full.
I saw that. I was like, what's
And there
going
were
on here? I saw
buses
bus. I was like, what's going on today?
So yeah, it's a great day for FAMU. Looking forward to a great SWAC season. You know, we're now under, and you keep seeing me get up and adjust the lights. It's getting dark now, but we're under the brand new LED lights.
I see that.
The brand
I
new
see
LED
that.
lights at Bragg Memorial Stadium.
It does have a new brightness to it. Now that
They
you mention
do.
that,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
it's actually made for TV now, and so the cameras can actually get a better shot.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it looks fantastic. There are areas lit now that
Yeah.
haven't been lit since I can remember.
Yes.
They may have never been lit. I'm just being honest.
And can I shout out the field? Whoever did whatever to the field. I mean, now this is a field turf, and our team practices on this.
Right.
It looks good. I mean,
Right.
not good. It looks great.
Right.
And I was out there, and I'm like, I wanted to ask somebody, but I didn't. And I want to say, man, what did we
And
do?
then did we notice the Gatorade
The Gatorade
sideline
signage,
mats
yeah,
and all
I saw that.
stuff?
I saw
We're
that.
starting to see some upgrades to things. I think we give VP Suggs that she's a marketing genius. I
Yes.
worked with her and saw firsthand what she can do marketing wise. With some support, I think some of the things that have been missing, pieces that have been missing for a while, will start falling into place. She's gone off and had her experiences elsewhere, and I think she's bringing some of that mentality back with her.
And she's building her team still, Vaughn.
Yes.
We saw a familiar face today.
Yes,
that
we did.
that I was very glad
I
to
was
see.
very glad to see
Yeah.
that face.
And that would definitely be a huge help to her.
You have to tell me who. I didn't see it, but okay, y'all tell me afterwards,
We'll
I guess.
wait for them to announce it.
Oh, I got you. Okay, you can tell me offline then. You tell me after we go off the air, because I'm like, huh? Well, y'all insiders. See, these two are local guys. These are insiders. Y'all look at me. No, these are the insiders over
right
there.
by you.
He was.
I missed it? Okay,
Right
I wasn't
by
looking.
you. You
Okay,
didn't know.
I didn't even know it. Okay, there you go.
But any more questions in the chat?
No, I haven't seen anything.
I see JSU in the blog. We always appreciate
yeah.
Jackson State in the blog.
They were trying to catch some some
We're
highlights.
not
and,
giving it away
yeah,
any
yeah.
secrets.
No,
but,
nope.
Well, it'll be interesting when the defending national champions come to Ken Riley Field. We'll see what TC Taylor can bake up. You know,
So much happens before that. That's November 1. So I'm just
yeah.
looking at the schedule. So much football happens before that
Right,
game.
exactly.
And I know people are going to circle that game, but man, my goodness,
really
so
is.
much happens
It
before
really
that,
is,
though.
man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that week before is Southern in Tallahassee. No, it's in.
No, we go to Baton Rouge.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, good.
And that's the week after homecoming. So we
And
got,
and Jackson will be in Vegas.
yeah, they're going. That's
yeah.
up in Gates, Grambling. Up
Yeah.
in
They'll be
Vegas.
in the week before Jackson
Yeah.
is in Vegas. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
So it'll be.
Vegas hangover, maybe. I say that. I'm not making no
bet all your
excuses.
money
I'm
out
making
there.
no excuses. You know, so we know y'all JSU fans will be coming because y'all done spent all your money in Vegas. So we
You might have to hobo back home.
Yeah, we might.
If you ain't careful.
Yeah,
You know, Vegas is dangerous.
Be careful. Be careful out there. Yeah. So.
So JSU asked, who has the best opportunity to win the Celebration Bowl?
Oh, really? Are we doing
It's
that?
too early.
You want to do that now?
It's too early. But you know, of course, if you just look at history, the FAMU, and since FAMU been in the conference, the winner of the FAMU JSU game represents the conference.
Yeah.
So
I think no
we
different.
gonna roll with that until somebody prove it different.
Exactly. I think there it is. So it's just a matter of, can both teams come into that game unbeaten?
Yeah, that's the key.
Who's gonna stumble? Who's gonna slip up, and where are you gonna slip up at? I think that's what it's gonna come down to.
We got some new coaches on the west side specifically that, they could be sleepers. So you, as coach said, I think the parity is going to be a little bit closer this year than it has been in the past. Instead of like 2 or 3 teams.
There's a lot of football.
Yeah.
Looking at the schedule now.
Yeah.
Because you best believe Eddie Robinson Jr., I interviewed him after the game last year at homecoming, and he said,
"You're tired of losing.
This is not a rivalry yet.
No, it's not.
We have to win
exactly. Thank you
before this becomes a rivalry."
Thank you.
Because I said the rivalry with Alabama State, and he was emphatic. No, it's not a rivalry yet. We've got to win one in order for it to become a rivalry.
Exactly.
So he's got Andrew Body back this year.
Oh, okay.
And Alabama State's going to come in here.
Yeah.
And FAMU has to go out to Mississippi Valley.
Payback.
There's got to be some payback.
I never thought I'd say. Right. I was thinking that. I was like, Devon, don't mention it. I'm like, who thought we got to go to Itabena for payback?
And then you got they got the new coach,
Terrell Buckley.
Got T-Buck out there.
Look,
the fool of Pascagoula.
And the offensive coordinator from D2 National Champs.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
And they got quite a few Florida players, including some local guys on that team that gonna wanna beat their chest because they're not here. So
okay, and then you got Trey Oliver. He's always got a chip on his shoulder.
Man.
And then the next week you got homecoming. You got Alcorn.
Yeah.
Anybody you schedule for homecoming is coming with a feeling of disrespect.
No days off.
Right.
No days off. Then you got to travel out to Baton Rouge and then come back. Jackson State, Pine Bluff, Alabama A&M. They've got brand new coaching with Shade.
Yeah.
And then the Bethune game, there's no predicting that game. It's a rivalry game.
I predicted every year. I hadn't been right every year, but I predicted every year.
Look, we're only on 4 years in a row of beating them.
Yeah.
We still got 5 more. We have a guaranteed 5 more beatings to give them before we even close to that whole decade that they got us.
Yeah.
Well,
Good
it'll
stuff.
be interesting to see football. It just seeing the spring game just reinvigorates you. I think that's why they put spring in, because it was too long a gap between the season and the end. And the spring at least gives you that feeling again.
Let me ask this. And one of the things that, obviously, this is one of those spring seasons where a lot of people weren't streaming their games for obvious reasons, with all the transfers and the musical chairs that goes on in college athletics these days. But one of the things that I saw on a couple of Division II levels was teams playing each other in the spring.
Yeah.
Do you think that now, given this, do you think there's a chance that you might see that
100%.
on the Division I level?
100% it's going to happen.
Okay.
Deion Sanders opened a can of worms this year.
And
one thing about the NCAA, I hate to say it, the NCAA is losing its power. When these Power 4 schools want to do something, the NCAA pretty much better let them do it, because they are just pulling away from the NCAA the more the NCAA clamps on them.
Yeah. I was told the only reason that didn't happen was because paperwork was late. It wasn't that they didn't want it to happen, but it was just like whatever paperwork needed to be filed, it was late submitting it.
And when Coach probably thought about the idea, it may have been, who knows when he thought about it as far as when they paperwork.
Yeah.
But another interesting question, it says, what about the Power 5 schools using HBCUs as recruiting tool?
You know,
it is what it is.
I think it depends on the sport. I think it does. Some sports, I think you're going to watch a guy. Look, here's the thing. When you recruit high school kids, you don't really know that they're going to acclimate themselves to college life, not just from the physical aspect of the game, but the academic side of it, right? And so when you have a kid that goes off to a mid-major, let's talk about when they go to the SWAC or whatever, and all these kids who are on the first, second, and third teams, I mean, some of those guys weren't having the kind of level of success that they were previous. And now all of a sudden you've seen a kid develop. You say, oh, well, he can do it at this level, and I would rather go get that than maybe go recruit a high school kid at unknown. Give me the known versus the unknown, right? And that's what – and I think it depends on sports. Like, I think football is an opportunity. Like, when the kids leave the Power 5 and come down to HBC, and I hate to say down, but when they come from FBS to FCS, it's an opportunity situation. And maybe some other sports, though, it's because you were given the opportunity, I've seen you do it, and now I can bring you into my program. So it's like, it's the reversal of when you were, going up versus coming down.
Right. Well, you saw it in basketball this year. You know, a lot of NAIA players came up and did very well, Division II players, even at the Group of 5, Power 4 level. You know, so if you got talent, you got talent. There's talent at multiple levels. But I think the key here is instead of worrying about that aspect of it, make sure you treat the kids right while you got them on campus, right?
That's true.
Make sure they get their financial aid on time, that they get their meal plans, that you know they're getting the help they need with the tutors and you know, and just treat them like your own. Because I believe that will carry more weight with kids than, you know, getting an extra.
For the majority, I think for the large majority, that if you take care of them that way.
Now, the really, really good kids,
sure, it's gonna be. What's
you know, they're gonna probably price you out in the market. But you know, you really have to treat your student athletes the way they should be treated. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, guys, as we end, is your phone ringing like my phone is ringing about the head basketball coaching position? I have had everybody who has ever coached the Recreation League, the Little League, the AAU.
I done got so many resumes that I don't know.
I'm not on no.
Y'all said to me,
there's no committee.
I'm not on the committee.
There's no committee that we know of that has been announced.
Nobody's.
There's been no process, but yes.
I have never been on one.
So y'all can stop sending it to us.
I think what it is they want us to talk about somebody. Look, I learned from the last AD that not to talk about things because when we talk about it, it don't happen. So I learned that from the last AD. Right. So I'm not talking. I'm gonna voice my opinion about who I think it is, and I'm gonna shut my mouth after that. Yeah. And I've already said what I need to say, and everything else is just we'll let you know when we know.
But I gotta say this. Thank you, Coach Crary. You came in and you did a great job, and you did what you were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. He's fulfilling his contract. His contract was a 1-year contract. His contract ends.
Yes.
He signed an extension with FAMU, but that only goes into effect after his regular contract ended. Yep. So he ended that contract, which means it voids the contract that he says that he signed. So, Coach Crary, thank you. Great job and good luck to you, except for when you play FAMU.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Hey, I was able to go to the men's basketball game this year and actually anticipate us having a chance to win. I mean, I'm grateful because I've sat through some bad basketball over the years.
I can't go back to the coach that said Kelvin had to sign. He said fire him.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Oh,
what me now?
Don't mind us. We just ripping
it was not me, though. But it was somebody I know.
Somebody you know. Fire everybody. Well, we can be a basketball school, folks, and the opportunities are there. And, hopefully we'll understand that. I think we have the right leader in
Yes.
place.
Yes.
And you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
She in the kitchen cooking.
She cooking. Yeah. You know, and I don't think we will be waiting too long. I've seen some schools take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. I don't think you're gonna see that in this situation. Just a hunch, not a prediction, just a hunch. So yeah.
Stop it, Demetra.
You got some of the regulars in there cutting up.
Oh, of course. We love y'all. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up and the like button. However and wherever you're watching, whatever Facebook or YouTube stream, hit the thumbs up and the like. And then, you know, of course, Rattler Nation, however you're watching us, make sure you share it with the FAMU Lee wherever, and let them know, you know, so that way they get a chance to meet Tyler, get a chance to kind of see and hear from Nayron and then from Coach Cozy. And then, there's a few highlights in there as well. So might be the only highlights that are running on the net. So just, you know, but go ahead and share it with the family. And, you know, the rest of the HBCU diaspora, we say hello to you, and, you know.
And thank you for watching us and supporting us.
Exactly.
We, you know, at the end of the day, we're competitors on the field, but we're brethren, you know, in terms of a community.
Yeah, exactly.
So we appreciate you. You know, we jab at each other from time to time, but we really do appreciate you all watching us and supporting us.
Y'all gonna really like these lights when y'all come here this fall. I'm just letting y'all know. You guys are gonna walk in, and these night games are gonna be special. And there might be some surprises. Look for Kelvin in this video here. Folks doing the Cuba. Okay,
so we're gonna take them out of there. I was able to get a little bit of my video from my phone so they can see what it was like. We're gonna take you all out. We're gonna take you on the field as everyone celebrated with the one and only Cupid. And guys, thanks again. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
And thanks for being with us. All right.